Okay guys, this is the Olympus TG-6 Tough Cam. So I'm going to share my thoughts. I've had it for a couple of years now. So I'm going to tell you what I think, but also tell you about some of the downsides where I think it could be improved. So as I said, I've been using it for a couple of years, and I use it primarily. I do something called co-steering, which is a really good test for any kind of equipment. It's really rugged activity where you're in the sea in close proximity to the rocks. So everything you take there is going to get scratched and battered up quite a lot, and this has survived really well. So I've had this model for a couple of years now, and before this I had one of the earlier Tough Cam models. So yeah, that's the primary reason I got it. It's a waterproof camera that is built for a bit of abuse, and thus far it's done very well. So I'll show you some photos throughout this video that I've managed to capture, but yeah, we'll just turn it on. It's a very good camera at just doing kind of auto settings, and I might use some of the sports mode functions, which allows me to take real rapid bursts of photos. That's what I use it for mostly. You can, I'll just open up the lens so you do actually get the impression it's on. You can program it, you can put it in sort of aperture priority mode and things like that. If you want a bit more manual control as you go, you can make some preset programs, kind of a lot of things you do get on many cameras. It's got a macro mode, underwater modes, and the scene modes, various ones, landscape, action, sport. So there's the sport mode that I usually use. Select that and then select motion. That's the one that works for me. And then despite, you know, I have some, you know, mirrorless cameras that I usually use on manual, I really just let this one do its thing. The main reason I'm using it really is getting photos for my clients, so they've just got some memories from their activities. So I'm not necessarily going for the highest quality of shot, and as we'll get to, that's where this camera works pretty well. It does do 4K video mode. It doesn't really have any major stabilization, so you know, unless it's tripod mounted, you're probably going to get some pretty shaky, not particularly impressive video. If I'm in the water doing video, I will be using a GoPro. I just think they're much more superior for that. But GoPro, the photos do have a particular look, this very sort of wide angle look, and I find this is much better just for sort of rapid fire photos in the water. The image quality, I must confess, I've got to admit, I don't think it's brilliant. The dynamic range of the camera isn't that great. So in really good lighting conditions, like nice sunny weather, it can take some really good photos. When the weather is you know, overcast, or if you're just in a high contrast situation, you know, you've got the sky and you've got loads of dark foreground over it doesn't do that well, it has to be said. So it's kind of a compromise. It's something I can take in the water, I know it can get battered and still get some photos. I personally don't think the image quality is brilliant. If you're not taking this into the water, your typical high-end phone camera will probably outperform this quite significant in this day and age, and of course it's no comparison to like a mirrorless camera or anything like that. One real downside, I'm using this with the Olympus lens protector, and that's a separate accessory, and it's kind of annoying that doesn't come as standard, considering this camera is, you know, it's being sold as a tough cam that you're going to sort of take into rugged situations. If you don't get this extra lens protector, you're going to scratch the lens almost certainly, and you're going to ruin the image quality. So it's worth getting that as a separate accessory. I'll make a video about that as well, so go and check it out. It's almost an essential feature. So all in all, yeah, I have been really happy with the camera. It does exactly what I need it to do, but it does have some limitations, some additional things to consider. The battery life isn't brilliant. I mean, again, I'm probably using it in the most suboptimal conditions possible. I'm using it in fairly cold water, so you know, it will last me a couple of hours, but that is all. And then it does take quite a long time to charge it back up, so I generally have to leave it charging overnight. Another real advantage, one reason I sought out this particular model, you can sort of change the image mode, and and do raw photos, so that's really, really good. So even in high sort of speed sport mode, you can get bursts of raw images, which obviously you can get a lot more out of in the editing process. So that's another real plus point for this camera. But the other thing to bear in mind, I find that the menu is a bit of a nightmare to navigate. I really do struggle to find where I expect functions and stuff to be. They're not always there, and I have to do a lot of searching, or even you know, resort to the manual or searching online for the answer. So that is also a bit of a minus as well. So it's not perfect, but it does what it does very, very well. So if you're looking for a camera you can take into some pretty rugged situations, and you don't want to expose your phone or your high-end camera, then yeah, this could be the one for you. So good luck.